Welcome to Lone Depot Park, where the 2023 MLB season will kick off for the New York Mets and the Miami Marlins. Excited to get going here. We get to ring in the new baseball year with last year's National League Cy Young winner Sandy Alcantara taking the hill for the Marlins. Sandy posted a 2.28 ERA in 228 innings, 207 strikeouts. Just a really imposing presence at the helm for the Marlins. And here we go, Jeremy Pena, one of many new additions for the Mets, leaning in to get a start. He takes a splitter low. That brings the count to 2-1. Don't forget we are using quick counts, which means every at-bat will start with a count that is at least 1-1, but sometimes it'll be 2-1, sometimes 1-2. We never really know. And with that, we have Pena aboard. Opposite field single to right. Digging in will be Tommy Edman. Fouls one away. Good sinker there. The 1-2 pitch to Edman. Going to be low and outside, sticking with the sinker. Edman won the Gold Glove in 2021. He's a very versatile player defensively, can play infield and outfield. 2-2 to Edman. That one is chopped. Great play by Alcantara. Throws to second for one, relay to first in time. Double play for the Marlins. Beautifully turned. We love to see pitchers field their position that way. It's always a talking point in spring training. It's great to see that Sandy brought that cliche, whether it's true or not, into reality here. Digging in is Pete Alonso, who hit 40 homers last season and put on a heck of a show at the Home Run Derby in Cleveland in 2019. Pete will take a sinker low right on the black for strike two. And the 2-2, Alcantara looking quickly. Oh, beautiful slider. Dots the corner of the zone, and that'll do it for the New York top half of the first. Taking the hill for his first opening day start is Justin STEELE. STEELE had a 3.18 ERA last season with the Cubs. Brand new start here in New York, and he's going to be looked to as one of the more veteran starters in this rotation and also one of the aces. So we'll see how that turns out, but for now, he's the guy for the Mets. Avisail Garcia leads off with a fly out to center. So one away quickly here in the bottom of the Miami first. Garrett Cooper grounds one to short. Pena is there. Collects. Over to Alonso. 2 down. Contact hitter Luis Arraez steps in. Looks like he offered at that slurve just out of the zone. So quickly steals ahead in the count 1-2. And he strikes out Arraez with a nice fastball inside. So nice smooth first inning for Justin STEELE. And we head to the second scoreless.
Leading off for the Mets, the designated hitter,
Francisco Alvarez digging in. Saw limited time towards the end of the 2022 regular season. But now looks primed to be the franchise catcher of the future for the Mets. Quickly, we have a 2-2 count. Alvarez skies one to right center. And the Marlins put that one away. Next up was Will Smith making his Mets debut as well. Acquired from the Dodgers in a blockbuster trade involving Francisco Lindor. The Dodgers, just when we think that they have pushed all their chips into the center, just pushed even more in. So we'll see how Lindor factors into that star-studded roster. As Smith takes a 3-1 just on the black. Can't get much closer than that. 3-2, fights off a sinker. Good pitch by Alcantara. Payoff pitch again. Another sinker, chopped into the ground. Alcantara covers first, and there are 2 away in the top half of the second.
Right fielder, Brett Beatty.
Brett Beatty will dig in. Another younger player who saw limited time last season, but now seems poised for a bigger role. And quickly grounds to second. A raise is there. And the Mets are out of the top half of the second. On to the bottom of the second we go. 0-0 our score. Jorge Soler is going to lead us off. Soler might find a hole here in the shift, and indeed he does. He pokes one to right. What looked to be a normal fly ball is instead going to be a double. The Mets, you wouldn't necessarily say caught napping because they shifted for a reason, but Soler makes him pay with a little opposite field poke. Hung up there for a while and gave Beatty a chance, but it ends up falling, and he's into second with a double. Next up, we have Peyton Burdick. Peyton swings and misses at a sinker low. Steele going for the inside corner. Fastball just misses. Runs the count to 2-2. And rings up Burdick with a fastball. As Ernie Harwell used to say, stood there like a house by the side of the road. Next up, we have the fantastic hair of Yuli Gurriel. Not on display with his helmet, but nevertheless, we can all only imagine what's going on underneath the helmet. As Gurriel called for a check swing, and he went too far on. And takes a fastball inside. So 3-2 is the count. Payoff pitch to Gurriel. Got him looking as well. Excellent location by Steele. His 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. You got to think Gurriel was sitting fastball there, and sinker caught him off guard. Jacob Amaya is up next to try and come through with 2 outs. Has a 3-1 count to start, but swings through a sinker. And Steele rings another Marlin up. 3 consecutive strikeouts to end the bottom of the second, and the leadoff double by Soler is stranded. As we head to the 3rd, Adolis Garcia digs in. Garcia swings through a splitter. Alcantara has been staying really low in the zone so far today and hasn't missed many spots. And true to form, stays low in the zone and strikes out Garcia with a nasty slider. Evan Longoria, 14-year MLB veteran, will dig in, and Longoria unloads. That sinker was not low in the zone, and Longoria did not hesitate. 444 feet at 111 miles per hour off the bat. An absolute missile for Longoria. And the Mets take their first lead of the 2023 season 1-0. I think that was the first pitch that Alcantara has hung all day. Pena went opposite field to lead off the game, but even that was well located. That one was not well located, and Longoria, credit to him, did not miss. Next up is Leody Taveras, and he's going to line the first pitch, a splitter, into the opposite field corner, and he's got extra bases, so Alcantara was rolling, and then all of a sudden 2 pitches, 2 extra base hits for the Mets, and a rally is cooking here in the 3rd. Like so many Mets today, that was Taveras' first at-bat with his new ball club. And not a bad pitch, splitter low in the zone, but Taveras did well with it, fought it off, and has himself an extra base hit. First pitch to Pena is fouled off. Pena lines one up the middle. Nice play. Well done over there at short.
The batter number 19, second baseman.
It's excellent work by Amaya. And that brings up Tommy Edman. We have one duck on the pond here. See if Tommy can cash him in. First pitch is a sinker low. Edman checked his swing and did indeed check it. So the count is 2-1. Alcantara paints the bottom corner with a fastball. Beautiful pitch, 2-2. Edman very late on that sinker, but got there in time enough to foul it off. 2-2 to Edman. Another sinker, another foul ball. Alcantara, his 50th pitch. He hung a splitter there, but Edman was way out in front. So much ado about nothing, another foul ball. Edman takes outside, runs the count full. Nice at bat here for Edman. Oh, beautiful. Alcantara leaves a splitter up. Edman does not miss it. Singles into center. And the Mets have added another run. It's 2-0 New York here in the top of the third. You got to give the Mets credit. Alcantara has only missed a couple of times so far today, but the few times that he has, the Mets have capitalized without blinking or flinching. So that's all you can ask for facing a reigning Cy Young winner. Pete Alonso will dig in, takes low, which runs the count to 3-1. Pete had a juicy splitter there. He spoiled it, but he might be ruining what he didn't do with that one. Payoff pitch to Edman will be in motion, and indeed he is. Alonso rolls over to third. No problem there. And the Mets are out of third, but not before they racked up 3 hits and put 2 runs on the board to take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the third. Leading off will be Gene Segura, longtime Major League veteran. He's hit just over 100 homers in his 12 seasons. Segura, 2-2 in the count. Chops one to second. Ooh, favorable bounce there for Edman. It rolled off the pitcher's mound in a way that brought it right to him when maybe it looked like he was going to potentially have to dive. Jacob Stallings wastes no time, grounding one right back to STEELE, who handles it. And the Marlins quickly have 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Avisail Garcia, the top of the order, comes back around as he swings through a slur, 1-2. STEELE tries to go high and put him away with the fastball. He definitely did not get the spot that I think he wanted, but Garcia fouls it away and then takes inside. So the count runs to 2-2. And now 3-2 as Garcia takes a sinker low. So from 1-2 to 3-2, Garcia spoils another fastball. Gotta think fastball is the call here, but maybe he'll mix it up. He did mix it up, went with the slurve, but Garcia was all over that to the tune of another foul ball. So the battle continues. And on the 9th pitch of the at-bat, Garcia skies one to right. Beatty is there. And we are through 3. Your score, Mets 2, Marlins 0. Francisco Alvarez will lead us off in the top half of the 4th. It will be interesting to see with the season so early what kind of leash Alcantara has with regard to his pitch count. He was a workhorse last year on a level that we normally don't see as much in 2023. So We'll monitor that as time goes on, but in the meantime, he blows Alvarez away with a high fastball. Alcantara's third strikeout of the day, and won it away in the fourth. Will Smith is up next. Smith fouls a pitch away to move the count to 1-2. And another splitter, similar location. Fouls that one away as well.
That's a ball.
A heavy splitter diet to Smith as he takes yet another splitter in the dirt, 2-2. And sure enough, Alcantara sticks with the splitter and puts Smith away. 2 away here in the top of the fourth. Next up is Brett Beatty. 2-1 splitter was hung. But Brett Beatty was a little too eager on that one, swung through it. And the 2-2 splitter is chopped right to Alcantara. Handles it without trouble. And the Mets are out of the fourth. Garrett Cooper will lead us off in the bottom half. Goes too far on a check swing. Mr. Cooper was an all-star last year. And whoa, the bat helicopters away. STEELE makes the play. And Cooper is out, but I think we all just want to marvel at the bat explosion that we saw. What the heck? I almost got to second base. But nice play by STEELE there to hang in there, dodge the shrapnel, and get the out. Arrays quickly rolls over to second. Edman is there. And 2 away. And Jorge Soler, who has the Marlins' only hit of the day. A double to right field to lead off the second. He fouls off a sinker and finds himself down 1-2 in the count. And STEELE, first strikeout in a little while, but it's a good time to get one. He burns a fastball in there. And the Marlins are out of the bottom of the fourth. We head to the fifth. The score, Mets 2, Marlins 0. Adolis Garcia will lead us off in the fifth. And Garcia does not miss either. A sinker stays up. And Garcia clobbers that to the tune of a solo home run. The second the Mets have had today. And the New Yorkers jump out to a 3-0 lead here in the fifth. It's fun. We get to see all the new home run celebrations between players and their third base coaches, players and their teammates. See what props the Mets may have in the dugout for these home run hitters. First pitch Garcia saw, sinker up, and he wasted no time with that one. Almost the same exact spot as Longoria, is just a touch less distance. And sure enough, who steps in but Evan Longoria? Longoria, you may notice, wearing the number 5 of longtime Met great David Wright. Situations like that can sometimes be controversial, but it should be no surprise that Longoria, longtime veteran of third base, played alongside Wright for many of his earlier years in the league. Longoria reached out to Wright, and the two had a good conversation about it. And in fact, it's become a thing where Longoria says, "Hey, you know, not only am I not trying to step on your legacy, but I want to honor you by wearing number 5." So, cool moment between the two of them, and fitting that number 5 is at the hot corner for the Mets again. All that to say, Longoria grounds out in his second at-bat. Brings up Tavares, Leody Tavares, out of the Dominican Republic. One of many Major League Baseball players to hail from the Dominican. Takes 2 balls and then skies a 3-1 pitch semi-deep to right field, but Garcia has no trouble with it. He brings it in, and there are 2 away in the top half of the fifth. Good contact by Tavares, but not much doing with it. Pena will try to keep the Mets alive here in the top half of the fifth as he swings through an offering. The 1-2 pitch is 99 miles an hour, nearly on the black. And Pena fights it off. And fights another one off. This one is splitter. Alcantara nearing 100 pitches. He's at 95. This will be his 96th. As he misses outside with a splitter. So we'll see if he comes back out for the 6th if he is able to put Pena away. He misses outside with a slider, and the count has run full. So good at bat by Pena to battle back from an early hole and work the count full. Force a payoff pitch here. The 3-2. And he misses. 3 consecutive balls by Alcantara, and Pena's on with a walk. And now decision time for the Marlins. And it looks like they're going to leave Sandy in. Edman falls behind 1-2. Pena's taking off, and he is in there with a stolen base. First of the season for either team. So Pena got a little lead there and was off to the races right away. Good pop time behind the plate, but not quite enough to catch Pena over there at second. Edman, in the meantime, has taken 2 pitches low, as we see Johnny Cueto and Braxton Garrett getting loose in the Miami pen. Have to wonder if they might be making an appearance very quickly if Alcantara walks Edman. Alcantara left a splitter up, but Edman rolled foul, so we'll have yet another payoff pitch. The 3-2 to Edman. Splitter on the inside corner. He's fisted to third, but handled. And the Mets are out of the 5th. But not before they had a run. Adolis Garcia. Another mammoth homer to left, extending the Mets lead to 3-0. Peyton Burdick will lead us off in the bottom half of the 5th. Burdick struck out looking in his last at-bat. This one, he rolls over to third. Longoria is there. Over to Alonso. And one is away in the bottom half of the 5th. Yuli Gurriel steps up and is heading back to the dugout just as quickly as he got up there with another strikeout. Steals 6th and the 2nd that he's gotten on Gurriel today. Jacob Amaya trying to keep the Marlins alive in the bottom of the 5th and also looking for his first major league hit in his debut game. Amaya stings one to left. Some pop to it, but it'll find the seats. So the count remains 2-2. Steele just misses with a fastball inside. It was off the plate. It's a good call, but close. Great eye by Amaya there to lay off, but he does not lay off the 3-2 sinker. Chops it right to Steele. Heads over to first, and we are through 5. It's score Mets 3, Marlins 0. Johnny Cueto makes an appearance for us. So Alcantara is indeed done after 5. At right around 100 pitches. So we'll get to see what Cueto is offering here in 2023. Another veteran just like Gene Segura and just like Evan Longoria. The Mets are going to have, it looks like Trevor Rosenthal and Sam Henges warming up in the pen. I don't think that they are keen to take Steele out when he's throwing a one-hitter, but they want to be ready just in case something goes awry or just in case Steele runs out of gas quicker than they think, as Cueto starts the inning with a walk to Pete Alonso. Francisco Alvarez is next up. It's funny, no matter how often you watch Johnny Cueto, it seems like the wrinkles never stop getting added to his delivery. As Cueto throws a beautiful sinker on the inside half of the plate and sits Alvarez down. One away here in the 6th. Next up we have Will Smith. Smith takes a sinker for a strike. Cueto has worked the count to 2-2 here after starting down 2-1. Smith lines 1 to third. Great reflexes by the umpire to get out of the way there, and an equally great play by our bat boy in left field to haul that one in. That was not for the faint of heart. As Will Smith skies a 2-2 offering to right. Avisail Garcia is there. And 2 are away here in the 6th. Brett Beatty 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. Hoping to change that here as he digs in with a 1-1 count. Beatty gets a sinker down the middle but doesn't do anything with it. Foul ball. Runs the count to 1-2. And he swings through a sinker, well located there by Cueto. And good work by Johnny. Leadoff walk doesn't amount to anything, and we head to the bottom of the 6th with the Mets still leading 3-0. Dean Segura, 2-time All-Star, digs in and takes a ball low. 2-1 is popped up right almost on home plate exactly. Will Smith will handle that one. And Segura is out. 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Jacob Stallings is going to line 1 to right center, and it looks like the Marlins are going to get another double and maybe more. And Stallings doesn't exactly have U.S. Olympic track speed, but nevertheless he is able to pull into second with a double. The Marlins' second hit and second double of the game. Stallings was all over that sinker, laced it into right center. Beatty took a bad route to it and is lucky that it didn't roll to the wall. So the Marlins may have something cooking here, but Garcia swings through a 1-2 fastball, and they're at 2 away now. Garrett Cooper digs in, takes a fastball high and inside. Cooper, no stranger to New York, starting his career with the Yankees. He's going to roll over to short. Pena's there. Throw to first is in time. And the Marlins do put a 1-out double on the board, but don't put anything else together. So we head to the 7th. The Mets still leading 3-0. Looks like the Mets are going to get Diego Castillo warming up. Again, I would imagine that they're going to, with the way that STEELE is pitching, they're going to want to leave him in as long as they can, but also don't want to overstretch him, particularly this early in the season. So we'll see how Buck Showalter handles that as this game rolls on. But for now, STEELE is still in. Garcia takes a pitch outside and then fouls off a sinker inside. So 2-2 is the count. And Garcia pops up a fastball. Arraez has no trouble settling under it. And Garcia has been retired. Next up, we have Evan Longoria, who hit an absolute moonshot earlier to get the scoring started for us here. Longoria takes a sinker in. 2-1 the count. And he takes a fastball low. 3-1. You have to wonder if Cueto's deception and the fact that, quite frankly, his pitches are 10 miles an hour slower than Alcantara's is throwing the Mets off a bit. You know, and that is a thing. It's easy, as Longoria is retired, it's easy to get caught up in just miles per hour, and that's certainly a valuable thing to have in a pitcher's repertoire, but there's something to be said for deception and for presenting a different look to hitters, and I think that Cueto's doing a great job of that, not only with his delivery, but also with just the types of pitches he's throwing, because you see a guy enough, you get used to a certain speed, and then you're having to change on the fly to something very different. It can be really challenging. It takes a little while to get used to. So credit to the Marlins for deploying Alcantara and Cueto in that way. And let's see if the Mets can figure anything out, as Tavares is way behind on a sinker. And he and the Mets are retired in the 7th. STEELE sitting at 96 pitches here, as the count is 1-1 to Luis Arraez. So we'll see if he can get through the inning. I think that is his goal, Showalter's goal, and everyone in Queens' goal, as Steele has pitched fantastically. So
One ball.
the more he can stay in, I think the better it's going to be for the Mets. As Jorge Soler looks completely outmatched. Swings through a fastball and swings through a sinker. It wasn't even close on the ladder. And 2 our way here in the bottom half of the 7th.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Peyton Burdick will dig in, taking a slurve inside for ball 2, and then taking a fastball inside for ball 3. Steele would like to avoid a walk here, but he does not, as 3 consecutive pitches to Burdick miss.
The batter, number 10.
And now we may have some trouble brewing. Pitching coach is going to come out and have a confab with Steele here. You can tell that his energy is starting to run low, but I think he really wants to get through the 7th, and the Mets want to get him through the 7th if they can. So we'll see. Maybe Gurriel is his last hitter of the night no matter what. Gurriel fouls it 1 away, so the count moves to 2-2. And Steele strikes him out. Caught him on a fastball inside. Gurriel has had no answers for Steele today, as most of the Marlins have also had no answers for him. 3-0 Mets as we head to the 8th. And it looks like Alex Lang, acquired from Detroit, will likely be the next Met pitcher. Amazing, outstanding work by Steele today in his Mets debut. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and only 2 hits. You know, in the beginning of the broadcast, we kind of openly asked if Steele was going to be ace material for the Mets and how that was going to work out for them, and he answered all of those critiques and more today. So outstanding start to the 2023 campaign, and all credit to that young man for taking what the naysayers say and showing them something different. Pena flies out to start off the inning for the Mets as Edman digs in. Cueto's still on the mound. The Mets have done essentially nothing against Cueto. Pete Alonso worked a walk, but other than that, Cueto has been throwing darts. 3 strikeouts, no hits. Edman takes 2 consecutive balls to work the count full. And check swing here. Oh, umpire rings him up. It looks like he did go. So a close one there. Edman swings at ball 4. And 2 Mets are out in the 8th as Pete Alonso digs in. The only Met to reach base against Cueto, as he walked in his last plate appearance. Pete gets a sinker right down the middle, but does not capitalize, fouls it away to move the count to 2-2. Pete wastes a changeup. Good pitch by Cueto. So the count stays at 2-2. Fastball, or sinker, excuse me, lined up the middle, chopped it right by Arrays, and Pete Alonso is on board with his first hit of the season. So let's see if the Mets have any kind of 2-out rally cooking as Francisco Alvarez digs in. Good pitch by Cueto, and Alonso did a good job fighting it off and poking it to right. Alvarez takes a changeup outside to run the count to 2-1. And a slider outside, almost the same location, different pitches, but nearly the exact same spot. So 3-1 to Alvarez. See if he has the green light here. He does, and he was a little too green over the gills. Swings through a fastball too early, so the count is full. Alonso will be on the move. And Cueto misses low with a cutter. So don't look now, but the invincible Johnny Cueto is running into some trouble here in the Met half of the 8th as Will Smith digs in. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. The 1-1 is outside. Cueto seems to be a bit more erratic this inning than he has been, or at least the Mets are a little bit better at holding off on swinging at some of these pitches. The 2-1 to Smith is a good fastball inside corner, well placed. So 2-2 is the count. Cueto looks, deals. Oh, catches Will Smith looking. Fastball in the bottom half of the black. Can't do it much better than that. And the Mets are out of the top half of the 8th. As mentioned, Showalter has tabbed Alex Lang to take over the 8th. He is starting the season as the setup man. So Buck always intimates that matchups and the grind of a season, so many different factors can influence who's pitching in what inning. But Lang is our setup guy to start the year. And Jacob Amaya lines the first pitch he sees from Lang just past Pete Alonso on the right. That's going to be his first major league hit, so kudos to that young man. We're going to make sure that we get the ball over to the dugout and that Amaya has a souvenir that he'll never forget. But also, aside from the pageantry of his first major league hit, came at a good time for the Marlins. They are on the board here in the 8th, and we'll see if they can get a rally going against a new pitcher. Gene Segura digs in and takes a curveball low, and so the count is full against Gene. And good sinker inside by Lang. Gene grounds to third. Longoria handles it.
Up next for the Marlins.
And 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Next up we have Jacob Stallings, who doubled in his last at-bat, but he's going to roll over to second. Edman will handle it. Over to first, and Stallings is out. So 2 away here, and this would be great if Alex Lang could strand a leadoff double and kind of pitch out of trouble, and sure enough, he induces a grounder to second. Edman handles it as he has all day. And Lang pitches out of a leadoff double, which is the second leadoff double the Marlins have stranded today. And we head to the top of the 9th with score 3-0. New York Mets. Matt Barnes will relieve Johnny Cueto, who did yeoman's work out of the pen. 3 scoreless innings. Beatty chases a high fastball. And again, the Mets are going to have to adjust to a different echelon of miles an hour here. Beatty rolls over on a circle change. Both pitches Beatty saw were out of the zone, and he swung at both. So, not the at-bat that he was looking for. And 1 away here in the 9th. Adolis Garcia will dig in. Garcia, just like Longoria, smashed a homer to left center earlier in the game. Brazelban and Okert are warming in the Miami bullpen. Garcia spoils a fastball on the black, fouls it away. And in the New York bullpen, Sam Hentges, who has been warming up seemingly all game, is still staying loose in the event that a lefty is needed. But Felix Bautista, the Mountain himself, is also warming. So depending on how this inning goes, we'll get to see if Bautista can try and lock down his first save as a Met in the bottom of the 9th. Garcia takes a fastball high. 3-2 is the count. Payoff pitch. Fastball middle, and not bad contact by Garcia, but not much difficulty there for the Marlins. They handle it. Jorge Soler puts it out for the second out of the inning. And Evan Longoria will stand in and take a circle change low and inside. Barnes follows that up with another pitch low and inside, but this one in the zone. Fastball for a called strike. 2-2 the count. And burns a fastball right by him. That one, Longoria did go chasing waterfalls. It's always good to listen to the advice of TLC, but sometimes fastball is just too much. So we head to the bottom of the ninth, and indeed we will see Felix Bautista. I think Showalter is going to keep the bullpen ready just in case. You never know how quickly things can change. You want to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. But Bautista will dig in, facing Garrett Cooper, and the first pitch Cooper sees, he's going to pop up to Pena at short, who puts it away. And always good to get the leadoff hitter out in a situation like this. Luis Arraez digs in, and he's going to ground the first pitch right back to Bautista, who handles it with aplomb. And all of a sudden, the Marlins are down to their last out. So we will see if Jorge Soler can keep their opening day alive. Soler lines on to left center, but it looks like the Mets have a beat on it, and indeed they do. Taveras is there to put it out. And the Mets have taken opening day by a score of 3-0. Incredible performance by Justin Steele. You can't ask for more from your starter, let alone someone who many thought could not be an ace. And he showed all of those people, myself included, what he is made of with an outstanding 7 innings. And just good clean ball all around by the Mets. They stole a base. They got some walks. They hit a couple dingers and took home a 3-0 win on opening day. So well done all around. And with that, have a beautiful evening, everyone. We'll see you again for our next one.
Thank you for joining us here this afternoon.